Imagine this. You're walking a tightrope stretched between two worlds. On one side, a dazzling carnival of pleasure, and on the other, a shadowy wasteland of pain. Most people spend their lives swinging wildly between the two. We chase pleasure until it exhausts us, then punish ourselves to feel pure again. We binge, then detox. We indulge, then repent. We chase success until we burn out, then call our exhaustion discipline. But what if the real problem isn't which side we're on, but the swinging itself? That's the paradox the Buddha saw more clearly than anyone before him. That both pleasure and pain, indulgence and denial, are symptoms of the same disease. Attachment, the mind, like a pendulum, cannot rest. It seeks constantly, clings desperately, and confuses movement for progress. And yet, every movement away from discomfort, or toward desire, strengthens the illusion that peace lies somewhere else, somewhere other than this present moment. The Buddha's answer wasn't just a moral teaching, it was a psychological revolution. He proposed something so simple and so radical that it still feels impossible for the modern mind. Stop swinging. Find the point of stillness right in the middle, a state that isn't numb or detached but vibrantly awake. This is the middle way. It's not the lukewarm path of moderation that modern self-help books talk about. It's not about playing it safe or avoiding extremes. The middle way is all about finding a true sense of freedom, one that doesn't rely on winning or losing or feeling pleasure or pain. And here's the question we'll explore in this episode. In a world addicted to extremes, to speed, success, outrage, and comfort, is it even possible to live the middle way? Every mind is a pendulum. Think about it. When something pleasant happens, a compliment, a notification, a hit of sugar or validation, the mind rushes toward it, clings to it, and wants more. When something unpleasant happens, rejection, failure, uncertainty, the mind flings itself to the opposite side, trying to escape it as fast as possible. We are conditioned from birth to seek pleasure and avoid pain. It's biological, psychological, and social all at once. Evolution gave us dopamine and cortisol, society taught us ambition and fear, and culture told us what to desire. The result? The pendulum never stops swinging. The Buddha understood that this constant motion, craving and aversion, is the root of dukkha, the unsatisfactoriness of life. It's not the presence of pain that makes us suffer, but our refusal to let it exist. It's not desire itself that poisons us, but our belief that its satisfaction will finally bring peace. To modern ears, this might sound abstract, but you can test it directly. Close your eyes and watch your mind for a few seconds. If a pleasant thought arises, notice how you lean into it, wanting to prolong it. If an unpleasant thought arises, watch how you recoil, wanting it gone. That reflexive leaning, forward or backward, is suffering itself. This is the prison the Buddha saw. Not the body, not the external world, but the mind's endless resistance to reality as it is. He saw that both pleasure and pain can enslave you, because both depend on conditions outside your control. The instant you rely on them for peace, you hand your freedom away. So, what happens when the pendulum stops? What happens when you let pleasure be pleasure and pain be pain, without chasing or running? That's the point where the middle way begins. Not by suppressing feeling, but by understanding it so deeply that it loses its power to control you. When the Buddha spoke of the middle way, he wasn't just giving moral advice. He was describing a state of inner equilibrium, a psychological balance so complete that the mind ceases to divide experience into good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant, success and failure. It's not neutrality, it's clarity. The Buddha called it upekkhā, equanimity, the ability to face any situation with a heart that remains still, open, and compassionate. In the language of modern psychology, we might call it non-reactivity. It's the ability to hold space for emotions without being hijacked by them, to feel sadness without drowning in it, to feel joy without clinging to it. And this is where the middle way becomes revolutionary, because it dissolves the entire dualistic framework of human life. Our culture is built on dualities: success, failure, beautiful, ugly, winner, loser, spiritual, material. But the Buddha saw that these are mental constructs, not ultimate truths. They keep the mind divided against itself. Equanimity doesn't flatten life into dull sameness. Instead, it reveals the vividness of each moment when we stop judging it. When you are no longer enslaved by the tug of desire or fear, everything becomes sacred, even boredom, even pain. In that sense, the middle way isn't about control, it's about intimacy with life. It's all about being so in the moment that there's no space for holding on or pushing away. Nietzsche once wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." The Buddha might have replied, "He who understands the how no longer needs a why." Because once you understand how the mind creates its own prison, you don't need to find meaning out there. You see it everywhere, in the breath, in silence, in the act of simply being awake. The Buddha's middle way was discovered under a tree 2,500 years ago, but never has it been more relevant than now. Today, the pendulum has become a digital blur. We live in a world that rewards extremes: faster, louder, more. Our modern palaces of pleasure are screens glowing in the dark, offering endless stimulation and instant gratification. Our modern asceticism is the hustle culture that glorifies exhaustion as virtue. We chase dopamine like the prince chasing luxury, and when it fails, we swing to self-denial, digital detoxes, silent retreats, cold plunges. Then we swing back again. Even spirituality becomes another product in the pleasure-pain cycle. Meditation apps promise calm in 10 minutes or less. Mindfulness is marketed as stress relief for overworked minds, stripped of the ethical foundation that gives it meaning. But the Buddha didn't teach mindfulness to help us cope with modern life. He taught it to wake us up from it. The middle way in our world doesn't mean giving up comfort or achievement. It means seeing through their illusions. It's all about enjoying success without letting it control you, and handling failure without letting it define you. When you stop chasing one side of the pendulum, you stop being a slave to the swing. And something extraordinary happens. You begin to experience moments of stillness. Not the stillness of apathy, but the stillness of clarity, where every sensation, every sound, every breath feels alive. In that state, the ordinary becomes luminous. Eating becomes sacred. Working becomes meditation. Even pain becomes a teacher. The middle way isn't a path of escape. It's the rediscovery of reality in its purest form. Living the middle way. So how do we live this way, in a world designed to pull us off balance every second? The Buddha gave a practical framework, the Noble Eightfold Path. But we can translate it into a modern context, not as doctrine, but as a way of living consciously. One right view. See the pendulum for what it is. Notice how every craving and every aversion shapes your perception of reality. Awareness is the first step out of the swing. 2. Right intention. Act from wisdom, not reaction. Ask yourself before any decision, am I running from pain or chasing pleasure? 3. Right speech. Speak words that calm the pendulum, not fuel it. Words rooted in truth and compassion steady both the mind and those around you. 4. Right action. Move through the world with mindfulness. The Buddha said wisdom is perfected in action, not isolation. 5. Right livelihood. Earn your living without feeding craving or harm. In a world built on attention and addiction, this principle is more radical than ever. 6. Right effort. The effort to stay balanced, not to force perfection. When you fall into extremes, don't punish yourself. Simply return to center. 7. Right mindfulness. Observe your inner world as it is. Pleasure, pain, thoughts, sensations, all passing clouds. 8. Right concentration. Cultivate stillness not to escape the world, but to see it clearly. These aren't rules, just handy tools to help you balance your inner world and make life outside feel less crazy. Living the middle way doesn't mean you'll never feel pain or joy again. It means you'll finally be free from the illusion that either defines you. You can hold joy gently, without fear. You can hold sorrow softly, without collapse. You become, as the Buddha said, unshaken as a rock in the wind. The ultimate realization. The middle way isn't just about finding a balance between opposites. It's about seeing that they were never truly separate. Pleasure and pain, success and failure, gain and loss, They arise together, define each other, and dissolve together. The middle way is the wisdom of non-duality, the realization that every experience is both fleeting and sacred. When you understand this, peace stops being a goal. It becomes the natural state underneath all striving. The Buddha called this nibbana, the extinguishing of the fire of craving. Not annihilation, but liberation. The cool quiet that remains when the mind no longer burns for more. In the end, the middle way is not a philosophy to believe in. It's an experience to live. You find it not by renouncing the world, but by truly seeing it. And when you see clearly, everything becomes simple. The joy of eating a meal, the pain of loss, the silence between thoughts, all of it, equally part of the path. The middle way is not a road you walk. It is the awareness that walks with you. The Buddha called it the path between extremes. But maybe it's better understood as the path of enough. Enough striving, enough craving, enough running away. When you stop swinging, you start seeing. And when you start seeing, you awaken. If this idea of balance speaks to you, subscribe for the next episode in the Buddhism Explained series. Let's dive into how the Buddha's discovery laid the groundwork for the Four Noble Truths, which clearly explains how suffering starts and how it ends.